that more than 2,000 years ago now, Jesus Christ took the place of man in judgment. But God in his infinite mercy, in order to satisfy his justice, provided an alternative so that somebody dies in the place of man.
Some worshippers said Good Friday represents sacrifice for the
will be free.
The significance of Good Friday in the London is that Christ has come to die for all the Christians. They nailed him on the cross because of the sin of the whole world.
Today being Good Friday, it's an opportunity for us to remember the sacrifice our Lord Jesus Christ paid for every one of us by bringing salvation and hope to every one of us.
A respondent emphasized that the significance of the day lies in humility and renewed commitment to religious living. Christians to reflect deeply on their spiritual journey.
It's good because it was through the suffering of Christ that we have been saved from suffering. It's good because through the death of Christ we have been redeemed and saved from eternal death.
Highlighted the spiritual importance of Good Friday, calling on believers to strengthen their relationship with God and remain steadfast in faith despite life's challenges. They also called on Nigerians to embrace peace, unity, and compassion, stressing that Good Friday goes beyond religious observance and serves as a call to live a life of love, sacrifice, and devotion.
Christians have been admonished to reflect on the suffering and sacrifice of Jesus Christ on the cross, describing it as the ultimate expression of God's love for humanity.
Venerable Albert urged the congregation to Venerable Emmanuel to Venerable Emmanuel Afemifune in his sermon emphasized that Good Friday was not only a day of mourning, but also a moment of deep reflection, resistance to embrace forgiveness and let go of hatred and show compassion to one another, just as Christ forgave those who crucified him. Venerable Afemifune admonished Christians to live life worthy of Christ's sacrifice by promoting peace, love, and unity in the society, and encourage Christians to remain hopeful despite life challenges. He reminded them that the solemnity of Good Friday will ultimately give way to the joy of resurrection, reinforcing the promises of new life and redemption.
It's good because all that mankind was sentenced to suffer as a result of the sin of Adam. The new Adam, Jesus Christ, came and died, so that by the blood that he shed on the cross of Calvary, you and I will enjoy the blessings of God as it was in the beginning.
The service featured prayers for the state, nation, and singing of hymns to mark the significance of Good Friday. Bridget Agitu reporting.
Similarly, parishioners of St. Bridget's Catholic Church, Asaba, prayerfully observed the Stations of the Cross across the town, vividly reenacting the suffering and death of Jesus Christ as a symbol of his sacrifice for humanity. During the Good Friday Mass, Reverend Father Emmanuel Ikedibois urged the faithful to reflect on Christ's love and sacrifice, calling on them to remain committed to God and live lives guided by love and righteousness. In a celebration of excellence in Nigerian broadcasting, the Broadcasting Organization of Nigeria, BAN, is set to host the second edition of the Nigeria Broadcasting Awards. The event will take place this Wednesday, April 8th, at the NAF Conference Center in Abuja from 6 to 9 p.m. The awards aimed to recognize outstanding performance and promote quality in both radio and television broadcasting. This year, 204 entries were submitted covering 24 award categories including Best Reporter, Best Newscaster, Best Producer, and Radio and Television Station of the Year. The selection committee was led by former NBC Director General Dr. Danladi Bako alongside veteran broadcasters and industry regulators. In addition to awarding current practitioners, BAN will honor broadcasting legends for their lifetime achievement. Recipients include Engineer Shingo Wigwe, Ambassador Yemi Farumbi, Dr. John Momo, and Mrs. Bimbo Oloyede, among others. Posthumous recognitions will also be given to icons such as High Chief Raymond Dokbese and Chief Mrs. Anike Abaje Williams. Corporate contributions will be acknowledged as well, with Dark Communications, MultiChoice Nigeria, DIT, highlights excellence and Anase Mutfwang, expressing condolences to the state and the affected community. He later visited Angwanurukuba to assess the situation firsthand. A swift operational response was launched involving the police mobile force, special intervention squad, and intelligence units in coordination with the military. According to the police, joint efforts with local authorities and community leaders have helped to calm tensions, while operations continue to track the attackers. Governor Mutfwang commended the rapid response but called for improved security measures, including a state police, modern surveillance tools, and stronger intelligence networks. IGP Disu assured that President Bola Tinubu would be briefed and urged residents to remain calm and report any credible information to security agencies. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has rejected calls for the resignation of its chairman, Professor Josh Amopiton, describing such demands as a threat to its constitutional independence. In a statement issued in Abuja, INEC said allegations of bias against the chairman are unfounded, stressing that his appointment and removal are strictly guided by law, not political pressure. The commission explained that its recent actions followed a Court of Appeal ruling aimed at avoiding legal complications experienced in past cases in Zamfara State and Plateau State. INEC also reaffirmed its neutrality, noting the recognition of new political parties has brought the total number of active parties to 22. Meanwhile, the African Democratic Congress, led by David Mark, has called for the chairman's resignation, accusing the Commission of Partnership and undermining democracy. INEC, however, insists its actions are lawful and remain focused on credible elections. You're watching the Delta Television main news. Still to come, Dubai cancel Easter services in churches amid Middle East unrest. Details of this and more after the break.
Cadbury 3-in-1 hot chocolate, the treat you deserve.
Some say learning is fun, but as mom, I see how demanding it can be for my child. That's why I ensure he starts every day with a cup of Bonvita. Bonvita, prepare them to win every day.
You're watching the Delta TV main news. The global scene is next as we join our world news desk.
Chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Mr. Onorode Oborewori, has reaffirmed the state's commitment to inclusivity and athlete welfare following his visit to Delta para-athletes in Lagos. The visit, which was part of activities marking World Autism Awareness Day, saw Mr. Oborewori engage directly with para-athletes. His coaches heard from to April 2nd in Enugu were a major focus. During the interaction, Mr. Oborewori commended the athletes and coaches for their resilience and dedication. The government's continued backing to help them perform at their best on the national stage. The meeting brought together participants from various disciplines, including para-athletics, para-powerlifting, deaf table tennis, and para-table tennis, with discussions centered on improving performance and addressing key challenges facing the sector. Athletes and officials also called for enhanced motivation, such as instant cash gold medalists and performance incentives for coaches. The engagement ended with renewed optimism among stakeholders as Delta State intensifies preparations for a strong outing at the 2026 National Sports Festival. In addition, the Sports Commission has boosted team logistics with the refurbishment of buses for Warri Wolves, Delta Queens, their supporters clubs, and the Commission's operations. Victor Osimhen has been named Footballer of the Year at the Milliyet Sports Award, one of the most prestigious honors in Turkish sports. The Nigerian striker earned the recognition following his outstanding performances for Galatasaray, where he played a critical role in the club's domestic double last season. Osimhen delivered an exceptional campaign, scoring 26 goals and providing 4 assists in 30 league appearances for the Yellow and Reds. He also impressed in Europe.
The Nigerian equities market closed in the red yesterday ahead of the Easter holidays as sell-offs in 24 listed firms wiped out about 3 billion naira in market value. Stocks such as John Holt, Abbey Mortgage Bank, International Energy Insurance, Charms and Tantalizers were among the key drivers of the downturn as investors offloaded shares. At the close of trading, market capitalization slipped marginally by 0.002%, declining from 129.809 trillion naira at the opening to 129.806 trillion naira. Similarly, the all-share index shed 4.66 points or 0.002% to settle at 201,698.89, down from 201,005, recorded an of 20 increase to close at 103.40 naira per share. It was followed by Fortis Global Insurance, Multiverse Mining, Legend Internet, and Ziki's Agro-Allied Industries. Conversely, John Holt recorded the steepest decline, dropping by 9.91% to close at 15.45 naira per share. Abe Mortgage Bank, International Energy Insurance, Charms and Tantalizers also posted notable losses. Trading activity weakened during the session, with total volume traded falling by 1.33% to 559.98 million shares. The transactions were valued at 19.26 billion naira across 49,676 deals. Secure Electronic Technology led the volume chart with 59.69 million shares, accounting for 10.66% of total trades, while Zenith Bank dominated the value chart with transactions worth 2.47 billion naira, representing 12.84% of the total market value. The naira returned to depreciation against the dollar at the official foreign exchange yesterday ahead of the Easter holidays. The Central Bank of Nigeria's data showed that the naira slipped to 1,380.79 naira against the dollar yesterday, up from 1,378.70 naira traded on Wednesday. This means that the naira dropped by 2.09 naira against the dollar on a day-to-day basis at the official foreign exchange market. Meanwhile, at the black market, the naira gained 5 naira to 1,415 naira per dollar yesterday from 1,420 exchanged the previous day when the local currency slipped. The development amid the continued depletion of the country's foreign exchange, which dropped to $49.18 billion as of April 1, 2026, down from $49,848 billion recorded on March 2nd. The naira gained at the official market, but dropped at the parallel market on Wednesday. Let's join our sports news desk for happenings in the world of sports.
Chairman of the Delta State Sports Commission, Mr. Onorode Oborewori, has reaffirmed the state's commitment to inclusivity and athlete welfare following his visit to Delta para-athletes in Lagos. The visit, which was part of activities marking World Autism Awareness Day, saw Mr. Oborewori engage directly with a Paralympic athlete, highlighting Delta State's growing focus on supporting athletes across all categories. His presence in Lagos coincided with a two-day strategic meeting of Delta State para-athletes and coaches held from April 1st to April 2nd, where preparations for the 2026 National Sports Festival in Enugu were a major focus. During the interaction, Mr. Oborewori commended the athletes and coaches for their resilience and dedication, assuring them of the government's continued backing to help them perform at their best on the national stage. The meeting brought together participants from various disciplines, including para-athletics, para-powerlifting, deaf table tennis, and para-table tennis, with discussions centered on improving performance and addressing key challenges facing the sector. Athletes and officials also called for enhanced motivation, such as instant cash rewards for gold medalists and performance-based incentives for coaches. The engagement ended with renewed optimism among stakeholders as Delta State intensifies preparations for a strong outing at the 2026 National Sports Festival. In addition, the Sports Commission has boosted team logistics with the refurbishment of buses for Warri Wolves, Delta Queens, their supporters clubs, and the Commission's operations. Victor Osimhen has been named Footballer of the Year at the Milliyet Sports Award, one of the most prestigious honors in Turkish sports. The Nigeria striker earned the recognition following his outstanding performances for Galatasaray, where he played a critical role in the club's domestic double last season. Osimhen delivered an exceptional campaign, scoring 26 goals and providing 4 assists in 30 league appearances for the Yellow and Reds. He also impressed in Europe, netting 7 times in the UEFA Europa League, while adding 5 more goals in the Turkish Cup. The 27-year-old has carried that form into the current season, contributing 19 goals and 7 assists in 29 appearances across all competitions. His consistency, attacking power and eye for goal continue to underline his status as one of the most informed strikers in European football.
Our thoughts for the day. Your mindset today shapes the world you live in tomorrow. Now for a rundown of the major stories in our bulletin this evening. President Bola Tinubu has assured citizens that ongoing efforts to tackle insecurity across the country are beginning to yield results. In an Easter message he personally signed, the president said the season serves as a reminder of sacrifice, resilience, and the triumph of light over darkness. The state governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oborewori, has said that security is no longer the exclusive duty of security agencies, but a shared responsibility of all. Governor Oborewori stated this at the 2026 Maris Annual Public Service Lecture held at the Unity Hall, Government House, Asaba, which brought together political leaders, security experts, civil society groups, and other stakeholders to chart a way forward in confronting Nigeria's deepening insecurity crisis under the theme, Insecurity, the Bane of Nigeria's Unity and Progress. The Vicar Broadcasting Sabah, or visit www.dbsasaba.com. On behalf of the my name is thanking you so much for watching. Good evening.